Hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar, Manage Payroll from Anywhere. My name is Gracie and I'm part of the education team based in Auckland, New Zealand. Small business is at the heart of our purpose and we care deeply about you, our customers. In these challenging times, we want to provide you with all the support we can and educate you to use Xero efficiently and effectively. Thanks for taking some time out to join me on this webinar today. Through this webinar, I want to reassure you that while you need to be working remotely, which will be new to some, you are still able to manage payroll easily and maintain the continuity of your payroll admin. Some of the tasks you are perhaps doing in person or manually can be done remotely in a very efficient way. We know that time is a valuable resource to you right now, and we are here to help make your payroll more seamless. In the next 25 to 30 minutes, I'm going to take you through tips and tricks for working remotely, ways to keep your staff up to date and how they can self-serve, security and permissions, and support. We also have a one-page PDF takeaway document that you will be able to find in Xero Central with this webinar. This has key points and links from the webinar today, and I will refer to it throughout. Alright, let's get into it. Firstly, I thought it would be valuable just to provide you some tips and tricks to help you maintain the continuity of managing payroll remotely. With Xero Payroll being on the cloud, this enables you to utilize cloud storage and move away from paper-based storage. This will ensure you can access key documents relating to payroll from anywhere you are working. For those of you still working with paper-based or email-based timesheets, now might be the time to look at the timesheet functionality in Xero Payroll. Your employees can fill out and submit their timesheets in real time using the Xero Me mobile app. That way, the approver can simply log into Xero and approve, edit, decline, or delete timesheets. You can also create timesheets from within Xero Payroll as well, for those with the right user access. This will create a more paperless payroll process and ensure seamless admin in a time when we are working remotely. Keeping up to date with your tax obligations is probably top of mind for you right now. Payday filing is available within Xero Payroll, and it's good to remember that your payroll returns will be filed automatically with Inland Revenue when you post your pay runs. Additionally, any changes or adjustments that are made to posted pay runs are picked up and automatically reflected with Inland Revenue. We take care of the heavy lifting for you. You don't even need to think about filing returns on different days, but you do need to remember to pay the Inland Revenue, and I'll talk more about that shortly. Once you've processed a pay run, you can export the payment file to upload directly to your internet banking. This saves any further data entry and enables you to pay your employees in a few clicks. This will help you to streamline your payroll admin and reduce the risk of transposition errors into internet banking. Not only will you easily meet your Inland Revenue obligations, you'll also reduce time spent making manual payments. I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like quickly. So if we swipe into Xero and go Payroll, Pay Employees, you'll notice on the top right hand that payday filing is already connected, but if you do need to set that up, you'll be prompted to enter your My IR login details and then your payday filing will be connected and show the same blue notification. I'm going to create a new pay run by clicking Process Pay Run next to the weekly 14th of July. So here you would check the pay run, and once you're happy, you would click Post. So if I go ahead and click that now, it comes up with a notification that says, once posted, this pay run will automatically be submitted within 30 minutes to the Inland Revenue. Are you sure you want to post this pay run? And I'm going to click Post and File. And that just puts a banner up the top that says, pay run successfully processed. This pay run will be submitted to Inland Revenue within the next 30 minutes. How easy is that? Payday filed in a matter of clicks. From there, you can just go Options down the bottom and Export Payment File, which you can then import into your internet banking to approve for payment. One thing I want to highlight here is that mistakes can happen and you might want to fix a pay run. You can either revert the pay run, which you can see as the last heading under Options, adjust and post again. Payday filing still applies and the Inland Revenue will automatically be updated with any changes. Or, if there are changes to make for prior pay periods, then you can create an unscheduled pay run. I've put a link to a Xero Central article on unscheduled pay runs in the takeaway document. If the mistake you have made is related to leave, then we suggest you to raise a case with Xero support to ensure you account for this amendment correctly. I'm going to talk about Xero Central and raising cases at the end of this webinar. The key here is that we're here to help and we understand you might need to make changes to pay runs. There are a couple of really easy ways to keep an eye on the payroll amounts payable to ensure that you've set aside sufficient cash. A key tip here is to make sure you are reconciling your payroll payments to the right account codes. We see this being done incorrectly time and time again, and it leads to stress as people don't know how much they actually owe. Let's jump into Xero and take a look. So from here we can go to Payroll, Taxes and Filings. And you can head into here at any time to see what your PAYE amounts payable will be for the following month. So you can click into any period and view the total amount that will be payable to the Inland Revenue. So if we click into the July period, you can see the total amount payable as well as what that is made up of. You can download this information as a PDF if you wish, and this recalculates as pay runs are posted, so you can jump back into here at any time to see the updated amount. And secondly, you can see the total cost of each pay run in the pay run screen as you post a pay run. By this I mean the cost of wages and salaries to be paid to staff, as well as the PAYE costs and any other deductions that need to be paid. This is a quick and easy way of noting what to set aside for each pay. I'll quickly show you how to view this now. So if we go to Payroll, Pay Employees, near the right-hand side, you'll notice that there is a total cost column. If you want more detail about what makes up the total cost, i.e. payment to employee versus PAYE and deductions, then you can click into a specific pay run and run the pay summary report. Let's take a look. So if we click into the weekly ending 14th of July, and down the bottom under Options, we want to click View Pay Summary Report. And if we now scroll down to the bottom where the grand totals are, the total cost in this particular case is the earnings plus superannuation. So they are a couple of really easy ways to keep an eye on your payroll amounts payable. And I'll just cross out of here now. As I touched on, make sure you're reconciling your payments to your employees to the wages payable liability account, or else your wages and salaries expense will be overstated. And when you've made a payment to Inland Revenue for PAYE, make sure you code the payment to the PAYE liability in your bank reconciliation. You can see these two codes here on the screen, and they can be found by going to Settings, Payroll Settings. These codes may vary based on your chart of accounts, so that is why it is a good idea just to check what they are for your business. Here are some other quick tips around how to use Xero Payroll to help you communicate with employees effectively and as regularly as you need to. With you and your employees working remotely, it is a good time to run the Employee Contact Details report to ensure that you have key contact information for your staff. It's super important at this time to make sure contact details and emergency contact details are in Xero Payroll and are up to date. I'll go ahead and show you how to access this report. So under Accounting, we want to click Reports. And on the right hand side, if we scroll down under Payroll, we need to click the arrow, and then we can select the Employee Contact Details report and Update. So you'll be able to see quickly here if there are any telephone numbers or email addresses missing. If you can't see the telephone column, just click on the little grid next to Standard View and then tick it. If you need to update any of those details, you can do this by clicking on the employee's name. So if I click into Casual Worker as an example, and here you can see that there is a section for contact information. You can also use this as an opportunity to make sure each employee has emergency contact details as well, and you can find that straight underneath. Another easy way to communicate with your employees is through bulk and/or individual payslip messages. You may have links, reminders, or just kind messages you want to communicate with your staff. To add a bulk payslip message, you can do this from a draft pay run. I'll show you how now. So we're going to head to the pay run screen by going Pay Employees. And we want to create a draft pay run. So I'm going to click Process Pay Run by the weekly 21st of July to create a draft pay run. And here, next to payment date, we can add our bulk payslip message. So I'm going to type in, hope everyone is doing well. See you at virtual drinks. Awesome. So that's our bulk payslip message done. However, if there is something you need to communicate to individual employees, you can click on the plus on the right-hand side in the memo column and add a payslip message there. So if I click the plus next to Dairy Milker, I'm going to add an individual payslip message. Hi, Dairy Milker. Don't forget to apply for your leave next month. Thanks. Awesome. If you add a bulk message and an individual message, they will both show under the messages section at the bottom of the employee's payslip. To view or preview the payslip messages, you can click Options, View Payslips. And if we scroll down to Dairy Milker, right at the bottom under the messages heading, you can see both of those payslip messages. So it's super easy. As part of our global webinar offering, we are running a webinar called Maintain Connection and Performance in Virtual Teams. While not specifically around managing payroll, this webinar will be useful in discovering how to run a remote high-performing team based on real human connections and keeping communication with your team open and effective. Just type in Business Continuity Xero Central into Google and click on the link if you do want to register for that one. As you can see on the screen, it is sitting under the Run Your Business Remotely heading of the Business Continuity Hub. It will also be available to watch on Xero Central in the near future at any time. There are also some easy ways that your employees can self-serve. This will hopefully free up some of your time to redirect to more other pressing matters. This is a great time to make sure your employees are invited into the My Payroll portal and also that they have downloaded the XeroMe app. This will hopefully save you a bit of admin time as they'll be able to self-serve and apply for leave, view their payslips and do their timesheets. I'll go ahead and show you where you can invite your employees into the My Payroll portal. So to do this, we can jump into Payroll, Employees. You need to ensure that all employees have an email address entered for them in order for them to access the portal. So as you can see, none of the employees that are set up do. So I'll go ahead and enter my email address from this screen into Casual Worker. And I'll click Save. So now I can tick the Casual Worker and invite to My Payroll. Your employee will receive an email so they can create a login and then they're good to go. You can also bulk select to invite employees by ticking the box at the top. So if you had email addresses for all of these employees set up, then you can just click this box and invite them all at once. So once they log in, here is an image of what they see. Please be assured that they will only see their individual information. They will not see any additional payroll information unless they've been given payroll admin access. In addition to the online portal, employees can also access their payroll information via the XeroMe app. The XeroMe app is free to download from the App Store or Google Play Store. It allows employees to access their payroll information really quickly without having to hassle you for payslips, leave balances, etc. They can also submit leave requests by using the app as well. By getting your employees to self-serve using the portal and the app, it will streamline your payroll tasks to free up some time. Alright, so now that we've looked at some tips and tricks, ways of communicating with your employees and getting them to self-serve, it is a really good time to have a go over security and permissions. When working remotely, we know that it is important for our small business owners to understand how secure their data is. Operating in the cloud, Xero does backups in geographically diverse locations all around the world, so that regardless of what happens, your data, including your payroll, is secure. We also comply with strict international security standards with our SOC and ISO certifications, meaning we have world-class top-tier security. It's so important that you keep your data and payroll secure, and ensuring you and your staff have 2SA enabled, as I just mentioned, is highly recommended. Another thing to consider is making sure user permissions are appropriate. Consider a scenario where the one staff member who knows how to run payroll is off sick or needs to be off work, caring for a sick family member. If that were to happen, you would need to have a staff member with the right user permission to take over. We will provide the link to our Setting Up Payroll and Processing Payroll recorded webinars available on Xero Central to help upskill your staff. I just want to reiterate here that users are to have their own login and should not be sharing passwords at any time. There are 2 user roles for Xero Payroll, being Payroll Admin and Payroll Employee. The key to note here is that only the subscriber, or users with managed users and payroll admin permissions, can give a user payroll admin access. Once a user has payroll admin access, they can then invite an employee into Xero Payroll and the My Payroll portal. Likewise, if a user has payroll admin access that they shouldn't have, you can update their permissions too by going into Settings, User, where you would select a user and change permissions. In the interest of time, I won't go through what each user role provides. The key to note here is that employees invited into the payroll portal will not be able to see any actual business bank accounts or data of the business. The exception to that point is where they've already been given access to other areas of Xero based on the role that they do. There is a great Xero Central article that I've added into the takeaway document that provides a useful comparison of the different user roles. I thought it would be really good just to touch on different ways you can feel supported while working remotely and managing payroll. Your mental well-being is important to us. You, your employees and families can access free and confidential mental health counselling, support and resources through the Xero Assistance Program. This service is provided by Benestar, an expert in mental health services. Please read about this in the takeaway document, which will include a link where you are able to learn more about the program and how to get started. One thing we pride ourselves on at Xero is providing 24/7 support to our customers, and we do this via our supercharged help centre, Xero Central. You can access Xero Central by entering central.xero.com into your internet browser, but the best way to access Xero Central is from right within your Xero organisation, which I'll show you how to do now. So in Xero, there is a question mark on the top right hand side, and if you click that, you can select Get Support on Xero Central. And this will mean that you land on the Support tab. Another easy way to get to the Business Continuity Hub that I was mentioning earlier is to click on the link right here at the top, Find Out More here. And you can scroll down to see what information is available, as well as register for other webinars like I mentioned earlier. So under Run Your Business Remotely is the Maintain Connection and Performance in Remote Teams webinar. And if you want help to do something in Xero, such as payroll permissions, type your keywords or question into the search bar and hit enter. So I'm going to type in payroll permissions. Awesome. And I'm going to click into this top one, which also happens to be the article that I've included in your PDF takeaway document on the comparison of user roles. You'll then find easy to understand support articles written by our experts, and you'll also see discussions that have been started by other customers and the answers to those questions they have raised. If you don't find the help that you need in an article or discussion, you can scroll to the bottom of the page and select Contact Xero Support, where you can submit a question via our secure portal. Awesome. A helpful tip here is that when you raise a case, you'll have the option to invite Xero support into your organisation, and that tick is just underneath organisation near the bottom of the page there. I would suggest you tick the box as it allows our team to help troubleshoot your problems faster. We have hundreds of customer experience agents working globally 24/7 to answer your email questions. No question is too big or too small, and we aim to get back to you within 24 hours. If you do have an urgent or complex payroll matter, make sure you add urgent to the subject line and in the description of your case, request a call. Do put as much detail as possible about your issue so support can call you ASAP without having to first confirm more details. Just make sure that you provide the best contact number for our agents to reach you on. If you would like to learn more about Xero's features and tools, I'd also suggest you checking out the Learning tab, which is at the top next to Support. This is where you'll find our catalogue of educational content, covering everything around the features of Xero as well as some wider education, covering topics such as wellbeing and resilience. And it's also where you can register for more Xero webinars. If you would like to learn how to set up and complete processing via Xero Payroll, you can find recordings of 2 webinars we ran as part of Education Month here in New Zealand. We have shared a link to this content in the takeaway document. If you need general employment information, or you have specific questions around leave types, then the Employment New Zealand website is a great place to go. It outlines statutory obligations, how-tos, and some helpful flowcharts, all to support employers. They also have an area for news and updates, as well as a section on workplace policies. We've included this link in the takeaway document. Throughout this webinar, we have hopefully given some assurance in working remotely with tools to manage payroll effectively while streamlining tasks. We've also explored some different ways we are here to support you. Thanks again for your time today. Please check out Xero Central to register for the other webinars that we are running in all regions across all time zones. For now, take care, be kind, and we hope to see you again soon.